Hey, what's up, Dean? Sear Performance. We're back down at the shop and we're back working on Jeff's S10, and we got it probably 95% of the way wrapped up. I got a bunch of stuff done today when I came in. I kind of mocked the battery in. It's not fully mounted, but I put it in there just to get an idea on everything. I got the coil mounted on the inner fender. I got the Hyperspark mounted to the fender, and I just made a couple of spacers to bolt everything in, and this way you can unplug the 3 plugs. You got one here, one at the coil, and one at the front of the box, or just those 2 even, and you'd be able to pull the fender off. Sorry, all 3. Pull all 3 and you can pull the fender off without having to unscrew or do anything. I got his trans cooler mounted. The transmission lines, I ended up putting it up front. It worked out better that way. Over in the back, under the seat, the lines were still really long, and I actually didn't have enough fittings to redo the lines, so I pulled them forward and they work out to where they're like pretty good length. I made a little bracket right there. It's like an L bracket that comes off the frame, and the lines kind of sit behind it, and I'll put some padding in them, but that keeps them from flopping over. And then there's another one. Oh, it's down there somewhere on the bell housing. Can't really see it, but it holds the lines away from the exhaust. I also used his heat sleeve that came off of something, I don't remember. It came off of fuel line, came off his fuel line. I used one of the heat sleeves and cut it in half and put it on both transmission lines where they are near the exhaust. I ended up having to move the line lock to over here to get the fuse box lid to work out. So no big deal. I had to remake one line, then I just kind of rebent this one. I got his SD card updated. The firmware is updated. I got the coolant tank mounted. I have to get a piece of hose to go from here to the radiator. Fuel lines are all finished up. Filters on. Again, I made a bracket, bent it 90 degrees, and I drilled and screwed it to the upright for the bed support, and then used the clamp that came with the filter and got that on. Got the fittings for the filter in. What else? I yanked this whole dashboard apart. That was, I think I went over that yesterday. I just kind of pushed it back up there a little bit, just because the way the wire comes through, so I could hold the handheld. But I think, other than like the inputs and outputs for the Holley, oh yeah, that was the other thing. So I went and I pulled every AC line off. I changed every single O-ring because when I pulled the vacuum on it last week, I think it was, it wouldn't hold vacuum. So I got a new orifice tube, all new O-rings, new seals for the back of the compressor. Got them all in, and it's pulling down the vacuum. It's been pulling for like an hour now. So I'm actually kind of curious. I'll throw that there. Move some stuff. I want to see if off of the little base file that I kind of loaded in, if the truck will actually start, how it starts, and kind of go from there. I dropped all kinds of stuff though. There it is. So this will be the first time I've cranked it over, so we shall see what happens. So there's the box. Man, it's hot. It's 111 in my shop right now. So everything is 111 degrees. Let's see. Nervous? Nervous. Good. Alright. Ready? Truck is running. I can immediately hear there's an exhaust leak on this bank. It almost sounds like the very back one, and I think that is what is causing that. It's almost like someone stepping on the throttle, but I'm not sure. Air fuel is good though. What the hell? And it shows on the dashboard. So here it's showing 13, 12, 9, 13. But on the dashboard it's showing over a little over 14 volts. What in the fuck? Try to adjust the idle screw. I don't have the IAC setting up, but it might be. Oh yeah, they had the idle screw turned in like 2 full turns on this. So let's see if we can go back. Sensors. So the IAC right now, just with that little minor thing that I did, and it needs to reset the TPS, but the IAC is sitting at 25%. I'm gonna shut it off because it was probably pegged on the IAC. You have to set it right, and that's not the right way to set it, cranking the throttle screw in. So right now you see the IAC's at 40, TPS is back to 0. Now the IAC is moving, it's adjusting itself to try and get the idle down. I think I got it set somewhere for like 9, 10. And I typically try to get the IAC somewhere below 20. I try to get it below 20 because to me it's a good number. They say, you know, between 4 and 10 or 2 and 10 or something like that, but if you're below 20, it's pretty good. The only coolant temp, so 150. It's not fully warmed up yet. Depending on what the IAC curve looks like in this, it's still coming down. So just with that, let's see if, yeah, it's still doing it. I don't have a fucking clue what that is. That is a little bit of valve train noise. Yep, and we got some valve train noise. surge, it could be me. I did take that bracket off. So I need a 1/2-inch wrench or anything close to it. 1/2-inch wrench. And it might have had a little bit of a hiss leak right there. Better. There's still a really weird noise on that passenger side, but it's definitely better. Coolant temps up. 75. IAC is still trying to work its way down a little bit. Probably needs to go in a touch. I had a screwdriver here, threw it over here. One fan running. The other fan's not running yet. So just that little bit of a turn made it come down a bunch. I gotta reset the TPS. Probably need to check the coolant. Okay, so it's got coolant in it. Let me grab a hose. Be right back. Alright, so I got the cap off. I put a hose on there. Trying to get it to fill up. I already got 1 gallon down in it. Just trying to keep it topped off. But yeah, I think I got it idling right. Just with playing with the IAC. And the IAC's kind of stuck right around 29. But I got it idling lower. So I'm not 100% positive that the alternator's putting out. Charging anyways. And then the last thing I gotta do is run a vacuum line from the back of the throttle body down in there, right over there. Run that to the regulator, because what that'll do at idle, it'll actually pull a little bit of fuel away, which is what you kind of want to do. And then once it, goes zero, it sounds good. This noise on this side is hard to tell if it's like a rocker, a loose rocker, or if it's just that exhaust leak. Exhaust leaks are a nightmare. I mean, I don't hear anything if I put a screwdriver to the valve cover and put my ear on it. I don't necessarily hear anything. Might have been a dry lifter, but yeah, it's not doing the kind of bumpy idle thing that it was doing with trying to find itself. Puking out a bunch of antifreeze, but I mean, it sounds good. It sounds like a healthy motor, other than that exhaust leak, which they drive me nuts. But it's responsive. fully wait and see, you know, when we get the MSD box. Hopefully that'll be here Monday or something. Coolant staying 184. IAC is up a little bit. About a quarter of a turn, you know, you play with it about a quarter of a turn. You can kind of see it's already coming, it's coming down. It was at 33. Also need to check the TPS, which is be under sensor. So now the TPS is showing 1%. IAC's coming down to 28. But you can see the idle staying the same. So it's kind of the adverse effect. You turn the idle screw in, which opens the throttle blades, and it actually closes the IAC. See, just that little bit of a quarter of a turn is 20% now. But you see the idle is staying 860, 870. I think I got it set at like 875 or maybe 850, somewhere around there. But now you see the TPS is 1%. So you need to key the system off, let it fully shut down, and then you can key it back on, and immediately you'll see TPS is 0 now. Starts right up, so the IAC will jump up to give it like that high idle. Now the IAC's going to jump around a little bit and try and find a home. And now I got it. It's a little bit turned in, so about a quarter of a turn out. And now you hear it's doing that crazy, weird, jumpy idle thing again. Now the IAC's saying it's at 2, it's holding steady at 2. Idle's good. We're gonna key it off again just to make sure. It's probably better just to key it off, leave it off, and then key it back on. Usually it's turning that screw messes up the TPS signal, messes with it. So we probably need to go so now it's right at 11. The IAC idle's not too bad. It's doing that weird jump, but it is rich. Not quite sure what the idle jump is. I can get rid of it, and then it'll come back and might be something I need to play with through the software. Maybe get the idle timing a little bit higher and try and pull some fuel so it's not quite so rich. But yeah, I mean, there it is. It's up, it's running. Staying cool. So I will, in the next few days, I mean, I really won't have much left to do to this. Till some stuff shows up. I know he ordered a steering wheel for it. That's my hand. So I know he ordered a steering wheel that he wants with the buttons on it, and we're gonna get the AC worked out. I'll probably try and put a little bit of a charge on it today. Oh, I keep closing up like that. And then once the MSD box is here, hopefully it gets here next week. You know, that'll kind of be the last little bit other than fixing this exhaust leak. I mean, it's always fun. Not sure, but it's most likely, of course, it's probably the back tube. So, but that's it. I will in the next video, hopefully it'll be kind of a run through of everything else that I did to finish it up, and we'll be taking it out and doing a burnout for Jeff. So thanks for watching. Do me a favor, watching, not washing. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new videos, and leave me a comment. Thanks, have a good day.